Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank y'all for joining our broadcast this evening. As you know, Boomhauer01 up here in the booth. Next to me, I've got our own league leader, Kay Taddy. I'd like to welcome you up here this evening.
Hey, thanks, man. Looking for some exciting racing here.
All right, so we've had three races at Atlanta this week already in our series. With starting with Sunday in our Cup Series, we had our Truck Series Monday. Last night, we had our Custom 2019 Cup Series race at Atlanta. Now we've got our Xfinity Series race at Atlanta. You think we're going to see much of the same driving?
I I 100% believe to see some of the same driving, but at the same time, we have some drivers that haven't raced at all this week at either Daytona or Atlanta. So I'm looking for some exciting racing out of those guys. They're not so sure what to expect. As at the same time, we have some of our Cup drivers in there.
Well, it definitely, from what we've seen in practice earlier, the way these cars are handling, it looks like it's going to be a pretty decent race.
Yeah, I just hope people just start giving people a little bit more room. Uh, seems to be what I've seen the most this week with some of the problem areas is the people on the high side, especially at Daytona. People on the high side are trying to push their way down to the bottom, and everybody just needs to give themselves some room, let the field get spread out a little, and we might see some good green flag racing.
I've noticed that at both tracks, at Daytona and at Atlanta this week. Whenever you're getting that run, especially when you've got them cars or trucks behind you pushing, whenever you're going into them corners, your car or truck has a chance of sliding up, so they're trying to dive down a little bit, and sometimes the cars on the inside are getting a little bit loose, so they're both moving up and down at the same time, causing a lot of contact in the middle of these corners.
Yeah, Atlanta is actually probably worse than Daytona in that scenario. Um, it's a harder track to race the top side. Um, Daytona has plenty of room. You can race up by the wall. The handling to it,
Oh yeah.
regardless of what preset you run, Daytona is pretty simple. Atlanta, eh, people vary. Some people want a tight car. Some people want it loose and make adjustments. First time pitting, and then so those lines they're hard to hold on to. And this is our Xfinity group. They're not necessarily the best group we have, but they're not beginners by any means either. So I look to see a few different takes on how people want to adjust. Some people might take the corner high and arc it in, and some might drop low, which will cause them to drift up.
Well, I mean, like you said, they're not exactly the expert drivers in the Cup, but then again, they're not the beginners in the trucks either. But also with these Xfinity cars, they've got more speed than the trucks, but they've also handled a little bit better than the cars. Is that the invites that we're getting right now? Alrighty. Like I was saying, they've got a little bit more handle. Why is it at Dover? I believe they messed up.
Yeah, I'm gonna say we have to back out.
Yeah, I think we will. I apologize. No, to the part. I see somebody
Actually,
watching this live right now. I apologize for that. Uh, it's hard switching the laps, switching the cautions on the stages, and switching the track and all that. And the split 60 seconds that you've got, it can be a little bit difficult sometimes. We've both had to do it before.
oh yeah, it can be tricky.
But while we wait on the invites, as we were talking about before, not having a little bit more speed than the trucks, but not being as wild as the Cup cars. Handling just a little bit easier. Do you think this might be some of the best racing we've seen this week, or do you think, I mean, it could be still a little bit iffy? I mean, with like you said, not everybody's ran this week. We've got some more experience than others. Kind of, throwing that, Kyle Busch into the Xfinity Series scenario a little bit.
Well, I'll tell you, actually, one of the biggest things that I have noticed. This goes from last season. The Xfinity group actually usually put on the best show of all the series on a week to week basis. The trucks tend to struggle a little bit because you're beginners. You expect that. The Cup Series, everybody's trying to make their mark as the best of the best, and so you have a few more incidents. But the overall week-to-week best green flag racing tend to come from the Xfinity group. So I'm actually really excited and happy to be in the booth with you for this series.
I'm glad you chose me to do all this. It's been great doing this. Uh, and before we get the race started, just like to throw it out there. If anybody who watches these clips, either from the Giggity Racing League channel or my personal YouTube channel, Boomhauer01, Daniel Thomas, if anybody watches this stuff and they feel like they can run clean, clean, solid, straight nosed racing, like we tend try what we strive for. If y'all think y'all got a chance at running with us and y'all want a shot, just let one of the admins, we got K Taddy as, the league leader. We've got RKM as the Toyota captain. We've got RJ Smitty as the Chevy captain. We've got Larry Baker as the Ford captain. If you want, you think you can run with us, you want a chance to have some fun, get on here. We run Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. All
Also
races.
Fridays, we have a dirt league on Fridays as well.
We have a dirt league as well. If y'all want to join, just hit some of us up. We'll do our best to get you in contact with the right personnel and see what you got.
We offer all the different types. I mean, anything you want to do on this game, we try to offer it for everybody. Whether it be customs with damage, you want to do presets, you want to run trucks, Xfinity, 2018 DLC, 2019 DLC, dirt car, anything you guys want to do, we offer it. So if you're looking for a fun league, just get a hold of one of us, like Boomhauer said.
All right, well, they should be getting the invites coming in pretty soon, shouldn't they?
Yeah, we should be. It looks like a new guy to the league, the Heat guy. Oh, he's not regular. He's a truck.
Yes, he is.
Noko, Smitty, Spanker, they were the top three, just as you would expect. And then the Heat, he was qualified fourth. The 18 was fifth. The 18 is
Little Man. And
Little
there's
Man,
our
WB.
invites. All right, well, oh, we joined too soon. Snap.
I backed out.
I just got another invite. See ya. All right. I think they realized they did it too soon. Wait a few seconds just to make sure.
Oh, you're good. I'm in here now.
All right. So we don't exactly have the starting order right now because they've got to get, in line. They're going to run one pace lap, probably about 75, 80 mile an hour around the track. Everybody get in line. But the numbers for this evening, we got Roofer in the number 20 Toyota. We got Marcus in the 66 Toyota. We got Eternal in the 98 Ford. Becker Bones in the number 1 Chevy. Kay Larson in the 28 Toyota. Flo in the 00 Toyota. Ford. 28 Ford and 00 Ford. My apologies. Little Man's in the 18 Toyota. We got, I can't pronounce that one. Everybody else knows him as AJG running the 55 Chevy. We got Lucky Prime in the 22 Ford. Brian in the 19 Toyota. Noko in the 42 Chevy. We got Heat 2. He's also number 2 is a Chevy on here as well, if I'm not mistaken. Spanker in the number 9 Chevy. We got Maddie in the 16 Ford. Smitty in the 3 Chevy. And TKO running the 61 Ford.
It looks like they just went. The 00 of Flo seems to be the car in the lead. I actually believe one person didn't make the field because RKM was in here to help set the lobby up, and he backed out. So there's actually only 15 racers.
Okay.
That's what happened.
Better view of what's going on up here at the front. Yeah, it looks like they're not running a pace lap. It looks like they're just going for it. So we get this underway then. I'll get you a view up here of the leader.
The 9 of Spenker and
Yep.
the 3 of RJ Smitty go to the inside of Flo. Oh,
Oh,
somebody's in the grass.
two people's
Oh,
in the
big
grass.
one.
Got one spinning. Looked like he pulled a 360, but he held on to it for a little bit. He's on the apron now. Got it back under control.
There's the 2 of the Heat.
Oh, I'm seeing
They're
somebody
spinning.
flipping coming into turn two.
The 18, a little man's wrecking. The 19's wrecking. Everybody's wrecking.
And caution is out.
Caution is out.
All right, well, let's see if we can handle this restart a little bit better than the last one.
They said they're backing out.
Yep. It looks like a lot of them's backing out. So, all right, we're going back out of this. We're going to start this again. Like I said, sometimes the stuff, the technical side of this stuff can be a little bit challenging sometimes. So, all of our followers, I apologize.
16 cars around Daytona is no easy task in a video game.
Oh no, it can be a little bit challenging. I mean, it takes up a lot of space. Yeah, Daytona's a wide track, it's a long track, but whenever you get everybody up there jockeying for position, also you get some people trying to stay in line while others are not. It makes for one heck of a show.
Well, and the wide, long track is actually the downfall with having 16 cars at Daytona because it is such a big track and it's wide open that the draft makes such a difference on your lap times. Uh, Everybody's fighting real hard to stay in it, and any little bit of contact going 200 miles an hour, it's going to send you flying.
Oh yeah.
Who are who are you looking at as being one of your top picks here tonight?
Let's see here. I mean, I've raced, been racing with this gang for, a good little bit now, but I gotta say, if I had to pick somebody, he's not in my Ford camp, which, I hate it. But one person I know that's always got a fast vehicle, don't matter what series he's running is, I have to say Noco. I think Noco can get up there. He can get to the front. And he can stay up there, but also Spinker can too. But seeing how both of them are running Chevys, they're in the same camp. Maybe them two can hook up and stay at the lead. But if I
It's
had to,
actually the two of them and Smitty are definitely going to be a group to watch. The three of them like to work together. They're teammates on and off the track, so they're an interesting group to watch.
now, speaking of all that, all three of them being, Team Chevrolet and everything, do you think we're going to see the same thing that we seen Sunday in our Cup Series race with the manufacturers hooking up? Or do you think if, a Toyota and a Ford or a Chevy, all three get next to each other and they're a little bit behind, do you think they're just going to say the heck with it and just jump in and try to maybe all of them push their way up? Or
I know that I personally,
oh
when I'm
crap,
running this track, you need an invite?
no, RKM sent me another one, but it got me into the race, so I'm gonna have to back out of this right quick.
That's all right. Yeah, just back out of the race and then get
As
right back
soon as
into
I
it.
joined, it had the triple zeros at the top of the screen.
I got you. So you have another invite then? You're all
Yes,
set?
RKM. I got multiple invites, so I'll be able to back out and rejoin.
I'm just gonna go ahead and hop in and start watching them.
Alrighty.
Uh, Now, first off, last night was an interesting night for me. I raced as a Toyota in the Toyota camp, and shortly after, I became a Ford driver.
Welcome aboard.
Yes, which is actually it's kind of nice. And then I was the Martin Truex 78 this season. Now back to a Ford. Excuse me about that. But in the Ford camp tonight, we have some interesting drivers. We have
We do.
Go with the Flow. I don't know what people know about him, but Go with the Flow is always a top contender, always has a fast car. He's in the 0-0 car up there battling for the lead right now. Um, oh, he just hit the wall.
Oh,
Anyways, also, other than Flo, we have a Kay Larson who's fairly
yes.
new to this league,
But he
but
has been putting on a show ever since he got in this
yes,
league.
and Monday night he raced the trucks. He was one of our dash drivers, made the race, and he had a good showing at Daytona, finished in the top three, and then he went on and raced the Atlanta. And not only did he race and participate, but he won the Atlanta truck race. So the second race here tonight might be in his favor.
But also, you can't forget about that number 16 Ford as well, Matty. He's ran in the trucks before. If I'm not mistaken, he was our truck champion from last year.
No,
So,
no. Terry was the truck champion, or Terry or Roofer. Roofer was the truck champion. Two Toyotas. We had Toyotas one. Myself and Roofer, who were teammates. That's all we bragged about, that we were the champions. And then Maddie was one of the final six in the Xfinity series in the playoffs.
huh. I could I guess my knowledge on that is off. My apologies.
Oh, you're all right.
But
I mean, it
regardless,
happens.
Matty's got some experience running up here, so he's one of them few that, he's also,
Maddie's
Ford's
in, as you
co-captain,
say that,
so
he's in the lead right now.
exactly, that's why I brought him into it. But we was talking about, RJ and Spinker and Noco and all that, and the Chevy camp looked like, the Chevys have been pretty dominant over the first couple races this season. Who, if
Ooh,
you had,
42 in
ooh,
the one, two Chevys making
oh,
contact right as you're talking about it.
I know, I picked Noco, and there he goes in the wall. Excuse me, it looks like they're
Now, I do
spinning back
have to
there.
say, the interesting fact here is, as we're talking about Maddie and Kay Larson, the only two cars that weren't involved in that accident are Maddie and Kay Larson.
All right, well, it looks like they got them Fords dialed in, and it looks like they're going to try to stick together.
Now, just a fact here, but Kyle Larson or Kay Larson here, he is just a. This is his first actual race with the Giggity League, 4 points. He raced the trucks, but he's not a regular there. He's an Xfinity driver. This is for points for him.
Yes, it
However,
is.
on the other end of that, Maddie this season is driving the 10 car, I believe, in the Cup Series.
Yes, he
His
is.
first time in the Cup. He just got moved up, and he's had some talk that people are saying that maybe he doesn't belong in the Cup Series, and I think he's out here trying to prove that he's a little too good to be running in the Xfinity Series, and the Cup's exactly where he needs to be.
Well, we shall see. All right, so we got the Fords in the front row right now. You think we're going to see a little bit of
Ford's in
strategy
the second row,
try to get all
top five.
them lined up together?
Well, no matter how it works out, you at least got, well, there's four of them there in a row. The 61 didn't get going at
Oh,
all.
no, he didn't. Looks like they're already
TKO,
stacking
I
up back
believe.
there. Looks like we got one spinning just at the exit of pit road, and caution
And
is
another
back out
caution
again.
is out. That one looks solely on the 61 car. You just
Yes, it
didn't get
did.
going, and it bottlenecked the whole outside row.
It might have. But we still, like I said, we still got all the Fords. We got, is that four of them still in the top four? One, two, three, and four. 16, the 28, the 98, and if I'm not mistaken, the 22.
Yeah, the 22 is. Oh, who is the 22? Let me check that real quick here.
22, if I'm not mistaken, is Lucky Prime.
That's yeah, that's a good run for him. He's another guy that we don't talk about too often. He's fairly new to the league too, trying to have a good showing here.
Yes, he is. All right, well, as we are back under green again. Like I said, we got the Fords in the top two rows. Looks like that restart got a little bit better than the last one, so let's see if we can get some green flag laps in. As we said, 28 of Larson dropped down behind Matty. Looks like he left the 22 high and dry, though, up there by himself. Looks like he might get freight trained.
Ooh, somebody's down on the apron.
I'm
It
thinking.
looks like they held it well.
Yes, they did. Looks like they caught a little bit of grass, but other than that, oh, we got the
Oh, big wreck
one
on the
car
back stretch.
sideways. It looks like they're holding it pretty solid right now, though. It looks like everybody maintain control of their cars. I gotta say, that was pretty good driving there.
The 98 of Eternal Rest sitting in third. Uh, I don't know how much of the broadcasting of you guys watch, but Eternal Rest, he tends to not
Oh,
run up
as we
front.
get the
It's them
22
all the time.
sideways into
Ooh,
2 as well, going toward the entrance of pit road. Is that
here
gonna
comes the
throw the
66 of
caution?
Marcus.
Yes, it will.
I think Marcus got the 98 before the caution come out. He might be restarting in third place.
All right. Well, let's see here. He'd be the lonesome Toyota up there right now. As you know, Marcus
We haven't
drives the.
talked much about Toyota, but
I
this
know.
Marcus Edub, he's a guy to watch. Also, he has a fast car
Yes, he
in and
is.
out at every track you go to.
In any series he's running in, I know for a fact we've done a lot of racing with him in the cut cars. Plus, practicing on and off before the tracks, before the races and everything. Uh, but speaking of the Toyotas, at the first 2 to 3 races of the year, yes, Chevy got the wins, but to my perspective, being in the Ford camp, just having a few of us, it looked like the Toyotas were actually a little bit more in sync, had a little bit better connection with each other than the other 2 manufacturers.
Yeah, the it seems to have been actually the Ford group on my end. Now this is coming as I was driving as a Toyota
Speaking
here
of,
up
as the
until
Toyota goes to the lead, oh, Matty
Toyota
touches him.
seemed to be, to me, the Toyota and Chevrolet seem to have been the teams that have worked the best together. Now this is also in the Cup and in the trucks, but this is the first time we've been able to see the Xfinity drivers out here helping each other out.
Yeah, well, you also got to look at it though. In the Cup car Sunday, we only had what three Fords running.
Yeah, there hasn't been as many Fords making the races in the first
Oh,
place.
as we get spinning, the 18 sideways. Looks like who else was that? I think the caution is out. We got the 1 sideways coming off.
I'm not so sure who the leader is. Is the 66 the leader?
Yes, the 66 of Marcus is the leader. Looks like we've got Larson in second, and looks like we've got Eternal Rest in third. No, that's a Chevy in third. Who would that be? If I can get on that car, the 9 of Spanker.
Ooh, Spencer.
Yeah, so it
That
looks
was one
like
of
that
our
Ford front
pre-race
row is
picks.
broke up. Yes, it was. Looks like we had a Toyota, a Ford, and a Chevy up there. So all 3 manufacturers in the top 3.
Ford's actually in a bad spot here, starting on the outside, but
Yes, he is.
with it not being teammates on the inside, he might be able to get down.
But then again, we've got the 98 of Eternal on the outside of him. No, he's not. Who is that on the inside of him? Behind him.
Oh, you do have 2 Chevys on the inside. The
Yes, we
66
do.
must have hit it, the 9 and 42. Oh, and then the 2 drops down.
All right.
That's Spanker and Noco right there.
Yep, Spanker, Noco, and
The 2 of the
the
Heat.
Heat. Yep, the Heat. All right, so we got an all Chevy top 3 right now.
Oh, the Heat's all over. Noco, put himself on the apron. Here comes the 1. Sorry, guys, bear with us. It's a new season. Baker
Yep.
Bones in the 1.
Oh, yeah, see, I'm used to Baker being in that black number 15 car or that black number 15 truck. It's a little bit weird seeing him in a different. Oh,
Oh,
as Noco gets loose and catches the wall.
it looks like he caught the rear
Oh,
end of
as we got
Spanker
the,
and
is that the
got him up
22
the track.
spinning?
Yeah. Oh, man.
It looked like just to be a
Baker
solo
Bones is all
car
over Spanker at the top.
as the caution comes out
That
again.
caution flies.
All right, so we should be coming up close to the end of stage 1 with it only being 14 laps. So we've had quite a few caution laps here, so as we were doing a little bit of testing, doing a little bit of research. There's only 14 laps in the first stage, maybe 13 in the second stage. So going into the third stage now, I know we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, but what do you think strategy is going to be? You think you're going to see a lot of people taking no tires here, or you think they're going to try to stick with four, maybe get that tank full of fuel?
Now, I'm sure you're going to see some gamblers that go no tires because I think it's being proven right now that track position is key. If you're out to the front, it seems to be pretty good. I say that Noco just had that issue with Spanker, but typically, if you can get to the front of the field, you're sitting in a pretty good spot. Um, However, if you're at the front, at the end of the stages, it doesn't hurt to take four tires and fuel. Uh, the next stage is going to be about 15, 16 laps also. You may not even have to make a green flag pit, but if you don't take the tires, you may end up having to come in. But stage three, I think that's where you're going to see a lot of different strategy because it's go time at that point. You have to be up front.
Oh yeah. And again, it's like we've seen every single race. That inside line is the place to be on these restarts. It's just, I mean, it's almost near impossible to get organized on that outside line to stay with that inside on the restarts.
So this just in, the RJ Smitty has lagged out of the race.
Oh,
He said he was trying to apologize for an incident and disconnected himself.
ouch. Yeah, both of us, running in a lot of these races, whenever we end up, making accidental contact with somebody, we'll send a message to them in the PlayStation, in our own chat, apologizing. And sometimes you're trying to hurry up and get back to the race before the next green flag drops, and sometimes you hit that circle button one too many times, and it'll throw you out the race. It looks like we got this front pack of six. They're pretty much pulling away from everybody. As soon as I say that, they all start spreading out. It looks to be mainly Chevrolet up there running. Oh, as the 66
got
and the
into the
two,
two.
and the
The
four,
20
the
in
42 is
the
sideways. As the caution comes out again. I think I jinxed the field right there because it looked like they were running pretty good, and as soon as I say that, they just went sideways. Well, we got Larry
looks like
Baker
the
and
slow man finds out.
RKM following our broadcast right now. Larry's cheering on the Ford gang, him being the Ford captain. We got Ryan Morgan cheering on the Toyota group. So looks like we've got all of our captains watching right now. So you think these boys going to put on a show? Maybe see what let their captains know what they got. Try to get upgraded a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of car numbers out there that certain people want certain cars, and you tend to try to
Especially in
put
the Ford
your
camp.
yeah, you try to put your certain drivers in a certain car. See those main cars up front. Uh, some of these newer guys are trying to show, hey, I might not have been with you long, but I might be your best driver I have here. I absolutely think these guys are
Oh,
going to definitely want to put on a
it
show
looks
now.
like the number two of Heat got one great takeoff on that rest. Oh, it looks like he might have lagged just a little bit, or is that Spinker lagging?
Well, I was doing some practice racing with the Heat earlier, and it looked like he had a little bit of a lag earlier,
It
but
did.
uh,
It don't
Spanker
look like
tends
it
to have
caused
some
the
lag here and
accident.
there, though, also.
Like I said, it don't look like
Um,
it caused the incident or anything. So I think I think it might be all right now as we see all these Chevrolets lining up in the front, except for that maybe two lonesome Toyotas up there and a Ford.
so
And I'm inviting them right now. Yes, sir. And they are accepted. So here we go. Let's get Flo and RJ in here. As we see Spanker still holding on to that number second spot with his number two teammate in front of him. As we see them Toyotas getting lined up with the 18 and 20 right behind them. You think they're going to be content running? No, they are not. Here they come for the lead. Oh, as they make contact with Spanker and push him through the grass, the 20 of Roofer is sideways in the grass as well.
now I know Roofer doesn't get to run up front too often. He tends to either have lag issues or he just picks the wrong line or something like that happens. He gets a little aggressive and it doesn't pan out for him. Ooh,
Or yesterday running our custom cup, being in the wrong gear can also sometimes hurt you. as
I
we
mean,
see the
you can
number
think.
one spinning across the start finish line.
And the caution comes out again.
Yes, it is. It looks like the 66 of Marcus is slow, so he got caught up in there somewhere. How you doing
Look,
there, RJ? Nice to see you join us.
Yes, sir. It was pretty rough for me
Oh, that's
there.
Flo as
Yeah,
well. They both
this
joined.
had a
All
little
flow,
right.
yeah.
lag.
What
Well,
was that flow? Sorry about that.
yeah. Uh, what was it like down there on the track? Give us a point of view perspective on that. How was the battling looking from from your point of view down there?
Flo, are you still with us? So
Uh,
stage one is actually over. The Heat won stage one
all
with
right.
AJG or Vin Bose. Looks like he finished second with Maddie finishing third in the stage.
All right. It looks like Flo might be having some
Having technical
communication
difficulties.
problems. As we see that number two get one heck of a start again. So I mean, I'm not sure. I don't think it was a mistake. I don't think it was a fluke or the lag that last restart because he just did it again. He's getting out there all alone. But is that going to make him the sit and duck as well?
Well, you got two Toyotas lining up on the inside, and that little gap, they might come on strong. And
Oh, and here
Marcus, he
they
does a
come.
shot break to go to the
Here they
top
come on
side,
the
and just
outside,
as I'm
but
saying it,
he's got that Chevy Toyota behind Heat though. Maybe he can bump him up and try to maybe hold on to that. But it looks like them Toyotas are strong, man. As we see
that
a Toyota
Toyota.
on the outside.
We have the
Oh,
19.
as the Toyota team. Oh, Toyota makes contact with the Heat as he gets up and gets
Oh,
into Matty, and they are spinning, coming across the start finish line again. Here we go. Oh, it catches the 98. I believe
uh,
caution is
I,
out though. Yes, it
I want to give a
is.
shout out to that 19 car, Brian SP. Last year he
Yes.
was a full-time truck driver, and he just got moved up into Xfinity this season. And he's riding right there behind Marcus, and he's doing exactly what he needs to do because Marcus is a seasoned veteran here, and he's the right person to follow, especially in your debut race. And the 19 seems to be running up front most of the night of Brian. So good job, Brian.
Like I said, I've ran with Brian in the trucks in Xfinity, in Giggity. Also, I've ran with him in our sister league Next Car. He's a solid guy. He's a solid driver. So yeah, I definitely give him a shout out from me as well for doing a bang up job, sticking up there with his Toyota teammate in second right now. All right, well now we got them Toyotas on the, oh, three Toyotas. No, it looked like Brian pitted. Oh, is they're already
Brian's
making
in the lead.
contact on the restart. Oh,
Brian actually is the leader here in the 19. Marcus pitted out of
Marcus
first.
did pit, didn't he? Oh, he's got to fit this.
I'm not so sure who that 55 is. I don't think we had that one. Oh, that's AJG or Vinbos is the
Yes, it
55.
is. I thought 55 was a Chevy still. Oh,
I did too, but it
that's.
seems to be a Toyota.
Oh, wow.
I was
Usually,
wondering that earlier. I didn't even know that that car was a Toyota, but
I didn't
Vinbos is
either.
up there doing a great run with it. And if you look, the 18, the Lil Man, is it Lil Man? No, Lil
Yes, it
Man's Ford.
is.
Who's that? It
No,
is Lil Man.
it is Little Man because he runs the 18 in the Xfinity series, I believe, in next car. I've done some good
So
racing with
we
him as
have
well.
three Toyotas at the top. We have Brian, who you wouldn't necessarily expect to be up there having a great run. You got Venmos, also known as AJG, and then you have Lil Man up top.
All right, well, let's jump in this 18 Toyota with Little Man as we get ready to start this next run. Think maybe, oh, looks like 19 got up a little bit high. Is he going to leave that inside open for 18 to capitalize? No, he's not. Looks like we got the Fords,
Ooh,
Lucky
18
Prime.
going for the lead.
Oh,
Is it,
another
seems
caught.
there's another caution out already.
Uh,
So that might have been the end of state. I'm not so sure why there's a caution there.
I guess we both missed something on that restart. Uh,
Yeah, I didn't see anything that time.
yes, RKM, your Toyota group is looking pretty good. I will give you that. Like we discussed earlier. Looks like Toyota's got the communication, the teamwork. It definitely looks, as much as I hate to say it, ha ha. Toyota's definitely got their stuff together a little bit better than the Chevys and the Fords, but also I think the strength in numbers helps play into that as well. Because as y'all seen,
I
we've
agree
got
completely.
more Toyotas than we've got Chevys and Fords almost combined.
That
So
actually that's a true statement. There does seem to be more Toyotas in every race. However, when the draft happened,
it don't matter
all
what your
manufacturers
manufacturer
drafted
is. There you go.
all uh all drivers, all captains drafted the same amount of drivers. They each all drafted 15 drivers. Toyota just seemed to have the ones that tend to be more free and open to
Oh, as we
racing
get a
every
little bit
night.
of contact in the middle of the pack, looks like
Right.
they're shuffling again. Oh, looks like somebody caught the 66. He's in the wall. As it looks like the
Brian
number two
lost
of Heat
the
is
lead.
spinning.
Brian loses the lead to Vinmos, and right behind Vinmos, here comes MP Roofer, and who's back in the
Oh,
stray? You got Brian working with Lil Man, and coming on the inside, the only Ford of Matty.
Matty.
Matty goes into third. Here
Oh,
he
it's a
comes.
19 catches the wall. All right, I gotta give a shout out to my Coke captain Matty up there in that Ford, making us look good, the solo of the group right now. And
It
there's
looks like
Mr.
they stayed green
RJ
after that
Smitty.
wreck.
How's it going, guys?
Let's hear from the Chevy captain himself. What do you think of your guys so far tonight?
So far in the race, kind of hard to tell. There wasn't a whole lot of green going on, but
Yeah, looks like. Oh,
qualifying, we all worked great together.
like I said, Chevy, they've won what? Actually, they won both Cup Series races, Sunday, at Daytona and Atlanta. Uh, Looks like they got the win last night in our Custom Cup Series as well. So that puts, Chevy's 3 wins. Toyota's got a win in the at Daytona in our Truck Series. We got a Ford winning, Atlanta in our Truck Series. So Chevrolet's leading the group this year for wins. I mean, how's that make you feel being the captain?
Oh, I'm pretty happy about it. I knew we were going to be tough to beat. I didn't really see the season starting off this strong, but looking
But
good.
yeah, you
Future
guys
looks
you
good.
have 3 wins. Toyota has one with Trey in the trucks and Larson for the Fords and also in the trucks. But out of the 3 Cup races so far, the Chevrolet camp has by far been the dominant camp.
In
Yeah,
which,
we got Martinsville coming up, and that's a couple of our
oh, as we
guys'
see, it looks
favorite
like
A
Roofer
tracks.
little
might
bit
have
lag.
lagged a little bit.
Oh,
Is that going to throw the
Hopefully
yellow
someday we
flag?
add some more wins on there.
Well, I don't know. We got us another Ford driver, so maybe it can help even the balance just a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. I
As we
forgot
didn't
about
see a
that.
caution for that little incident we just seen with Roofer lagging a little bit.
that lag shot may have just given Vinmos and Roofer a clear sail into the end of. I believe they're still in stage 2 right now.
I believe they are trying to get back up to the leaders here. Yep, them two
Now the trick is,
Toyotas
what is
are.
Roofer going to do? Is he just going to follow, or is he going to try to come around at the end?
Well, you was in the Toyota camp for the first 2 races of the season. So, I mean, well, actually, first 3 races of the season, including last night. So, I mean, what do you think they're going to do? I mean, you pretty much know all the guys in there. I mean, of course, you've invited all of us to join your league, so you know everybody in here. But especially the Toyotas, working with them a little bit more. So, I mean, you think Roof is going
I
to
know
sit
that
back there?
Roofer's one of the more aggressive drivers. Again, I said this earlier. He doesn't get to be up at the front very often, and
So
when
you
he
think he'll
does,
take
he tries
advantage of
to.
it?
I think he's going to try to, but I don't see him trying to make a move until coming off 4 if he's going to do it. He knows the NASCAR and the concept very well. If you
Oh
make a move
yes.
too early and there's any contact between him and Vinmos here, then the odds are you're going to take both of you out of the race. Whereas if you just wait till off 4, you make a little contact, you're probably still going to finish in your respective spot. Especially with this big gap that they have, there's just no
Oh
reason to
yeah.
be be
They got a
passing.
huge gap, as y'all can see right now. Looks, as they're going into turn one right now, the rest of the pack, it looks like third through seventh is just now making the transition from turn one to turn two. So they got a good, what do you say, 4 or 5 second lead on everybody else.
Yeah, and they have 3/4. Oh, the 28 gets
Oh,
wrecked right now.
oh, I see him spinning through the infield. Oh, is that going to breed a caution, or is he going to be a solo car and maintain it?
It looks like they're staying green.
It looks like it is, so it's down just, it looks like we've got 3 packs of 2. So we going back to the 2008, 2009 2-car tandem days here tonight, or is it look you think them 2 packs back there are going to form up, make one big pack, and run these Toyotas down?
Now I'm going to say, quite frankly, I see the Chevys up here trying to go side by side with the Ford camp here for third. Spenker and the want. Who's in that one car? Baker
Oh,
Bond,
as
that's
he
right.
hits the wall.
Oh,
Oh, they're wrecking back
of course,
there.
there goes the wreck. Oh,
Big
that should
and
bring out a
caution
caution.
is out. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Or is it? Yes, it is. Caution is out now.
Yeah.
All
Whenever
right.
you get big, smaller packs like that, it's not a race of which individual car is the best. It's which two cars work the best. You know what I mean? Which two are going to stay in line, nose to tail, not swerving in and out, not even looking under the other car, just simply nose to tail. Those are going to be your fastest two. But the idea of that is out the window as we're going to stack them back up here.
All right. And, as I'm not sure if some of y'all, haven't really talked too much about this in the broadcast yet, I don't believe. But the way we do our chat parties whenever we're running, we get we do it by manufacturers. We've got the Toyotas in the chat parties. Usually RKM, Ron Morgan, he's the Toyota captain, so he'll run, the Toyota chat. We got, RJ in here with us right now. He's a Chevy leader, so he'll run the Chevy chat. And, Larry Baker being our Ford captain, he'll run the Ford camp. Do you think, I mean, sometimes, when you've got, instead of just doing two or three separate parties with as many drivers as you can fill in there and having teammates in separate chat parties, or vice versa with the way we do it by manufacturer, do you think that sometimes whenever you get, like we just seen the Fords and the Chevys running side by side, how do you think that plays into the little bit more of the accidental contact that you see going into the corners and stuff a lot?
Was that for me or was that for Smitty?
Well, both of y'all. I mean, both of y'all, y'all know how this stuff works. I mean, like I said, I just now started running the cup with y'all this year, but y'all have got a little bit more experience in here, with this. Oh, as we see them stacking up in the corners, the 22, the 42 gets sideways. Looks like the 66, the 1 is the 16, the 28. Oh, they wrecking everywhere.
To get back to your question, personally, the multiple chats, um, they work out at some tracks, especially being the manufacturer. A track like this is really nice to have your manufacturer. If you get around somebody, you have a teammate, you can talk to them, say, "Hey, I'm going high." The car behind the lead car tends to not be able to see very well because you're sucked right up behind the other car, so you tend to not be able to see. So it's very important to have that communication, saying, "Hey, car coming off pit lane, going slow down bottom, we're going high." However, at a track like this where everybody's grouped, it's also very difficult because you have multiple conversations in one chat. I think Ford has 7 drivers in their chat tonight.
Ooh.
So in an instance like that, you have 7 people all trying to talk. So when you're trying to get your point across, the other drivers may not even be able to hear you.
Oh yeah, because sometimes you got to talk over everybody else, and it cuts them off, and sometimes it causes somebody else to make a mistake. I mean, it can be tricky sometimes. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's definitely nice talking to your teammates, especially when you hook up with each other, especially at a draft track like Daytona, Talladega, Michigan. As we see, oh, it looks like the 22 caught the
Oh,
apron
22.
as they are spinning. Oh, it looks like somebody's flipping again. I'm not sure
One
what's
car
going on, but we've seen a
stalled.
lot of
One
flips in the
car
first couple of
stuck.
races. Just ask me personally. I know I've flipped about 5 times this week already.
You flipped a few times last night at Atlanta, I think.
Yes, I did. Every one of my flips this week has all come from Atlanta. I don't know what it is,
You
but
guys,
Atlanta just don't like me.
you guys catch my flip?
I
Did you
seen
flip in
somebody
this race?
flipping earlier. Yeah, I
Oh,
seen at least.
I flipped big time earlier. I flipped probably flew about 100 yards.
And
I
that's why
s-
you're in the booth.
Yeah, I had to go. That's what took me so long. I had to get cleared out of medical.
yeah, there you go. Are you doing all right? Any broken bones, concussion, or
I'm a
anything?
little stiff, but that ain't gonna stop me from Atlanta.
All right.
Jumping on the plane, we're gonna fly right there.
All right, RJ, seeing how you are running Atlanta, you got to run the first, little bit of this race. Do you think a lot of this aggressive driving that we're seeing is going to carry into Atlanta, or do you think because,
Ooh, knuckle on the grass.
everybody knowing Atlanta is Atlanta, it's going to be tight racing? The draft also comes into play. It's not as wide as Daytona. You think it's going to calm down, or you think we're going to see the same type of racing?
I think it's gonna calm down throughout every series. It's really calmed down come Atlanta, and I think the biggest problem here is everybody's
It's
kind of having
Daytona.
trouble holding a line.
It does look like
So
there's a lot of left and right amongst these cars tonight.
I've seen a lot of rubbing, and that kind of causes
Oh, as it looks like the
another one
98
to
of the
go
Ford
below
of
the
Eternal
yellow.
goes sideways. He catches. Was that? Who was that he caught? Was that Roofer? Oh, as we see somebody
Oh,
else sideways. Looks like the 66 of Marcus as he bangs off the inside wall.
but
I
like
tend
you
to
were saying
find
before about the team chats and everything, it also is a huge thing with the coming up with a strategy,
Yes, it is.
and a lot of the time that pays off huge.
Because like right now, as y'all can see, we've got the 66 and the 18 running 1 and 2. Now, if they decide to pit, that number 9 car, Spinker, he's not going to know about it. So whenever they peel off, maybe Spinker has to pit by himself while the other two have got, somebody to draft with. That's going to make a big difference coming to the end, towards the end of the races.
quick correction. That's the 55 of Inmos, not the
55,
66
I
mark.
swear, it looks like a 66 almost. That 5, the way it curls
16 is on
underneath.
pit road right now.
Oh,
Or
Look who's
61, I'm
coming
sorry.
back up on the outside. The
here
16 of
co-
Matty.
oh, as him and Spinker
looks
make
like them and
contact.
Spanker make
Oh.
contact.
Is this going to breed another caution? It should. There's multiple cars involved, and it
There's the
does.
caution is out.
Oh, and the 61 was just pulling off pit road, so this is going to work out good for him.
Oh, yes.
The
Now,
61 and TKO. That should, if everybody else pits, that should give him the lead.
well, they were already, no, because he'd be a lap down.
Did they get by him before the caution came out, though? If they didn't get by him,
Yeah, I
then
don't,
Yeah.
nobody
I don't know
would
how
believe
far back he was.
It's hard to
before he
judge that
pitted.
stuff, saying, that's another thing I think
Is
they
there,
should allow
uh,
is replay
the-
on here.
The wreck happened right there in the tri-oval, right about the start-finish line. So depending on when they give him the... you're right, though. He could have been a lap down. Might just be getting a lucky dog.
But then again, actually, I mean, either way, I think he's going to benefit from it, whether it's the lucky dog, the wave around, or whatnot, because regardless, a lot of people's going to have to make pit stops, and he don't, so... Alright, as we got these Toyota teammates, 1 and 2 right now. Looks like we've got 28 of Kyle Larson in third, with the 22 of, who was running the 22? That would be Lucky Prime.
Lucky Prime.
His
With not a
teammate behind.
spanker up there, the
Oh.
one Chevy up there.
Oh yeah, he closed that gap awful quick. He wasn't going to let them Fords get hooked up. As we see the 18 of Little Man on the outside not having no help. Looks like he's going to be getting slingshot as we see a
Ooh,
car
got
flipping
contact
through
in
the
the back.
infield.
Smitty's having deja vu. Oh, Matty goes up into
Yeah.
the wall.
Oh, as we see a car on the apron right there. Looks like he's trying to maintain control of it.
Ooh. Spanker
Oh.
going up past the 28.
The 61 did go down a lap, so
Oh.
did get a wave around.
Oh, as the 28 and 18 make contact. Looks like the 18 bounces off the wall. Looks like the 28 holding his position. All right, we got 3 Fords right here. We've got the 28 of Kyle Larson. We've got the 22 of Lucky Prime and the 98 of Eternal Rest all right here hooked up. Maybe they can do something, get up here and get around these Toyotas. And as soon as I say that, the 98 bounces off the wall, so that's going to delay that a little bit. I think I'm just giving these people bad luck tonight, because as soon as I say something good, it goes to
That
storm.
pack is coming.
Yes, it is. That's the
Noto is
no-
leading that pack, and he
Oh.
passed 2 cars by himself.
Looks like the 66.
He
and
is-
oh,
he
the
is
22
cruising.
hard in the outside wall. Oh,
Oh,
is there wrecking back? There's, oh, ouch. See the 66 spinning and the caution is out again. We've definitely seen a lot of contact here tonight. You think that's just got a lot to do with it being Daytona and the draft and everything, or is people eager to get up here and get this first win of the season?
I think it has a lot to do with it being Daytona.
Everybody wants that coveted Daytona win. As Trey was talking, Sunday night whenever, when he got that Daytona win, he was just thrilled to get it. His first win in Giggity coming at Daytona. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of these drivers are feeling the same way. A lot of these drivers, it's not their first. Was that the end of the race? It was.
Oh,
Well, that was quicker than I thought it was going to be. So it looks like the 55 of AJG and that Chevy camp, or that Toyota camp got the win. We're definitely going to have to get the finishing order on this for y'all to clarify all this. We're going to get right on that right now.
Sorry about that. I had my mic muted there for a second.
Oh,
Got a phone call.
we understand. Stuff like that happens.
Is that Venmos that takes the win?
It was, I believe, AJG got that win.
All right. Let's see if we can't get him in here.
All right.
all right,
You
guys.
haven't-
I'm gonna get out of
Go
here.
get ready for Atlanta.
Yeah.
All right. Good luck, buddy.
Yep. Thanks.
All right. I sent him an invite
All
or
right.
a suggestion for you.
All right. There it is. View suggested players. All right. Let's get him in here.
Oh, maybe he's not coming in.
All right. There he is. AJG.
Real quick, bud. Are you on? Are you on Always Laugh?
All right.
Okay.
All right, what's up, guys?
All right. Looks like you got that win at Daytona.
That's the one I've been dreading for a while, and I finally got one.
How's it looking down there?
I mean, for me, it's looking great, but there was some tempers flaring during the stage. I got up front, and I just stayed up front because I had enough gas to stretch to the end.
All right. Well, I mean, looked like there was a lot of jockeying for positions. Looked like there was a lot of cautions. A lot of contact going into the corners. People getting a little bit loose in their cars or getting a little bit too tight. I mean, how was you able to avoid all that?
Well, early on in the race, I believe everybody was very excited, as I would say, for the race to happen, and they were like wanting to go 3 wide on restarts, and it showed out a little bit towards the end, but it was still there. Like I said, I got up front, and that's all it took, and I was able to stay up front and not get any of the trouble.
All right. Well, now that you got the first one at Daytona, what's the mindset going into Atlanta?
Just drive well, stay out of people, drive clean, always be clean. And I would love to win Atlanta too, but that's not always a promise. You got to work for it.
Like I said, Atlanta's a little bit tighter, smaller track than Daytona. I mean, you think tempers from the first race is going to flare into the second race a little bit, maybe?
Yes, probably. I would say so.
Well,
It looks like about half that race or so you had some Toyota help pushing you. In the chats, was that
yeah.
the game plan that they were just going to follow you and stay with you maybe till the end, or?
We were helping each other. We had done said when the race started, don't matter if we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't matter who wins. We're finishing that way. Like whoever gets up front, if there's a guy behind him that's Toyota, do not let anybody under you.
All right. Well, there you hear it coming from the Toyota camp. Congratulations on your win, and we'll
Thank you,
let
bro.
you get ready for Atlanta.
All
You
right,
have about
thank you,
8
guys.
minutes left before Atlanta starts qualifying, so go on. Good luck. Maybe you can make it a double-double.
All righty, thank you, guys.
All right, see you, bud.
Shit.
Well, all right. Well, that's going to do it here for Daytona. Here in about 10, 15 minutes, we'll be broadcasting our Atlanta race, and hopefully it's a little more exciting, maybe not quite as many cautions, but I want to thank everybody for watching, and we'll see you here at Atlanta.
All right, y'all. Hopefully y'all join back for that one. We'll catch y'all later.